All right, here it is done. So first I painted it with Tractor Supply gray. That's more or less the door. This is clear coat and mica powder. That's how I got the color shift going on. This purplish blue sparkle look. And then this side or lower half, I did two different colors, which I shouldn't have done. That I learned from, but that's kind of what this was. Just a learning process, because this is the first time I've ever tried clear coat or the mica powder. As you can see, it's not perfect. That dent near the door is pretty visible, but it didn't need to be. It just needed to be painted one color. I pretty much left the top all gray because it takes quite a bit of clear coat to cover, because it's a thin layer. But I also hit the rims kind of an orange blackish, just different color than the rusty white. You can barely see the color in this, but it is there. Every now and again, depending how the sunlight hits it, you can see it glimmer. Like I said, I pretty much left the top gray because I didn't want to use too much clear coat. I still got to paint my Toyota. This was kind of just practice and see how it came out before I paint the nicer rig. So this was the learning factor, which I learned a lot. Definitely slower coats, and I'll use the same color, because here you can see it too. I kind of use like a apricotish lighter color than the darker purple, and it doesn't look as good, honestly. Plus it's thick because I had to spray over it a bunch of times to try to blend it back to purple. But either way, you can see the color change in it. For the first time, and a $16, $18 spray gun, whatever it was, I'm pretty happy with it. And I think once the sun hits this front grill, it'll look a little bit better. You can't quite see it the way the sun hits a little bit right there. You can see it kind of flicker, but it's definitely a lot of different color in it, depending how the sun hits it. Rims came out decent. It at least makes it all one color and kind of brightens it up. I'm gonna paint the bumpers black. That'll be last. I'll let the paint dry good and then tape off the body, spray the bumper, get that all painted black. Like I said, this was more or less a learning process. It's the first time I've ever tried the clear and the mica powder, but it did work with the Tractor Supply paint, so that was good. Didn't really bubble or do anything weird, so I know I can use it on my Toyota. That'll be the next paint job I do. There's just a little bit I kind of faded back with the clear coat, so it starts real heavy up front. There's a little bit on the doors and a little bit on the under spots under this, but the top's all gray pretty much. I think I hit a little bit right there. I shouldn't have. So I did do this side a little bit, but I didn't do the other side thinking about it. But the back I didn't really touch. I did do around the windows a little bit, I think. Yeah, but over here I didn't really touch any of it. I left it all gray, which hopefully somebody just wants it for a farm rig, more or less. It's pretty much what it is. It's nothing special, but it's an old cool Jeep. You can see it on that door a little bit when the sun hits it, right? Especially right on this ripple. All in all, pretty good for the first one. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I wouldn't try two different colors. That was kind of a test. If you do the same color concept, then it works. Like this is slightly different from this back one, and you don't really notice that. But this peachy apricot, you definitely notice, and I don't like that, but it is what it is. It was a learning experience. So when I paint the truck that's nicer and more valuable, hopefully it'll come out better from learning from this. Pretty much painting slow, more layers, and using the same color base or close to the same colors is really where it's at. But it looks pretty dang good for what it is. I'm not complaining. I did do like I said yesterday, I did it just Tractor Supply gray before I did the clear coat over it. I should have took a video of that, but I'm just trying to get this thing done so I can get it on the market. But overall, it's pretty good. I'm happy with how it turned out. Pretty good color shift now that the sun's on it. Probably see it on the camera. And like I said, it kind of fades back. This is lighter. A little bit down here. You can see it right here when I'm not in the sun. And it'll also work better on black paint than gray. That's another thing. I'll be able to see how it applies better when I do the truck, because the truck's black. This, it had to go heavier to be on the gray, so sprayed more coats. But overall, pretty dang good. Hopefully somebody likes it enough to buy it. I'll paint around the tire to make that black, tape off the rim or whatever. But yeah, even the rims turned out decent. They're at least a color now, not just rusty and white. Yeah, and I'll get this thing in the sunlight when I actually take pictures to sell it, so it sparkles and glimmers a little more. You can see it there on this a little bit in that area. Overall, pretty good. That's how it turned out. First one, I'm happy. Like I said, I used a cheap gun that I sprayed both paints with, cleaned it out with parts cleaner, and then sprayed this the next day. So saved on materials. Usually I just throw guns away after, but this is the first one I actually cleaned out and redid, or resprayed with. So it turned out pretty good. I'm happy. Looks pretty dang good for what it is.